A 2003 South Korean neo-noir action thriller directed by Park Chan-wook. Hopefully I'm not butchering that name. This is a film I've heard a lot about but never really got to see it until recently, and my whole mind exploded. This film was an experience. I laughed, loathed at a specific character who I pitied at the same time too, was shocked and felt other emotions as well. This film has a wide spectrum of emotions. It's just really sad it took me this long to get to watch this film, even though I've heard it at least a billion times already. And by the way, I'll keep this video as non-spoiler as possible. Plot synopsis is this. The film follows a man, Dae-soo-oh, who has been mysteriously locked up in this prison hotel. After 15 years, he has been released for unknown reasons, and now he goes out to find the person who put him in that prison hotel in the first place, as part of his vengeance. So how's the story? The story is incredible, man. It may seem like your typical revenge story from the synopsis I mentioned earlier, but trust me, it is more than just that. This film takes your typical revenge story and adds in some really interesting flavors in it, like revelations, plot twists, metaphors, mature themes, and the end result is nothing short of a masterpiece. A very unique one at that as well. I've said this before, it deals with a wide spectrum of emotions, and firstly, how is this even possible? How can a thriller film have so many good funny moments? I laughed in this film at times, and this is a strength I've seen in Bong Joon-ho's Parasite as well, and also his other film The Host. Sometimes when I see comedy in a serious film, it ruins the mood of that film, like Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. But in this film, it blends in very well. I think that is due to the brilliant writing of the writers. The story at times takes us in certain direction we would not expect, which is really good writing because it makes sense why it's going that way as well. So it shows consistency in the story. The metaphors are quite intriguing. The themes we discover in the story are thought-provoking. Yes, this is one of those films that make you think throughout the story. It's kind of a detective story in that aspect as well. The editing, wow man, this film came out 20 years ago, goddamn 20 years ago, and it has some of the best editing I've seen in films. The editing is used to provoke certain emotions and they are used very efficiently, especially towards the end of the film. The editing really elevated the emotional stakes for me and also made the revelations far more shocking than it would have been without the power of the editing. And then you have the cinematography, which I don't know what it is, man, but there's something special, there's something very unique in the style of South Korean cinematography. The cinematography in this film is very unique. If you are a fan of cinema, you have seen this action sequence before. Yes, it's from this film. The acting here was top notch, but so was the cinematography. The way the camera moves following our main lead and making subtle movements when they are in the same spot, it evokes certain emotions inside of me. Instead of keeping the camera at one place, it's moving, And the plot twist I must talk about. It's more prominent in the second half of the film, and don't worry, I'm not going to spoil them here, but most of them happen in the last quarter of the film. Definitely one of the most shocking revelations I've seen in any film. Some things in this film made me go in disbelief at first, and then I go like, oh, it makes sense now. Holy shit, man, you thought this was going to be another revenge film? Well, strap on and get ready for your mind to be blown. The villain of this film is very well realized. Yes, he's one of the most evil villains I've seen in cinema. And he is evil, but he has his reasons for being that evil. Like, he has really believable reasons why he's that way. And there were so many perfect shots in this film. What I mean is split shots and so many other great cinematography techniques used in this film. I'm not familiar with Korean films that well, but among those few that I've seen, they have a perfect ending. Like, what I mean is, let's take Parasite for example. It has a perfect ending because it is a moment where you subconsciously think it is a good place for us to put the final full stop in the story. But it doesn't feel fully satisfactory that we see in other films where it's like a happy ending or what, or a tragic ending or whatnot. It feels somewhere in between, And this film also feels that way, where it is tragic, but at the same time it feels fulfilling as well. So it's kind of a mixture, it's kind of a unique experience in that way. I don't want to give too much spoilers away, but this film is one of a kind. It is truly a remarkable and unique experience for me. I can see why it is revered by many film fanatics. If you haven't watched this film, what are you doing? Stop whatever you're doing right now and go watch it. And that's all I have for this video. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys next time. You guys are always the best.